Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Putty, and welcome back for another edition of Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, the best damn territorial wrestling on the planet today. It's true, it's damn true, ladies and gentlemen, we are here at the Mall for The Clash, our September show, the final show before where it all begins again. Our only announced match tonight, Audi Goon, Darren Gurgel, and Clinton Adams will defend their Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Championships, Tag Team Championships, against one of the teams that beat them during the Sam Keith Classic, the Southern Stars, Animal Harker, and Tennessee William. That's going to be tonight. And also, there are many more matches on the card, but some of them are going to be booked as we go on tonight in the show. So without further ado, also in the main event, of this evening, it won't be a match. It will be a contract signing between Gary Walker and James Diaz, who are, of course, going to be in our main event next month at Where It All Begins Again. So let's get in, ladies and gentlemen, to the show. The Clash 2024. Let's do it! We start things off with Fro Shore, who comes out to the ring and says, you know, there are a lot of things that I regret over the last year or so. There are a lot of things that I am unhappy that happened. One of the things I don't regret is putting my opportunity, my number one contendership on the line last year against Ernest Youngman. Ernest Youngman? Yeah, Ernest Youngman. I don't regret that. Sure, I got fucked over. Sure, I lost my opportunity because Ernest Youngman cheated. Sure, that's all bullshit. But it was still honorable, and you know what? It was exhilarating. And Ernest Youngman deserved it more. So I'm out here to ask you, Gary Walker, you know you have no chance of beating James Diaz. You know there's no chance in hell of you beating James Diaz. So I'm asking you, please, come out here and put your championship opportunity on the line against me. Because I deserve it more. And Gary Walker comes out, gets on the mic and says, Fro, you don't deserve it more. You don't. I feel for you, Fro. I do. You've lost a lot. I know you have. And I genuinely sympathize with you. But what you're doing is not right. Attacking people, brutalizing people, victimizing people, it's not right. And you know what? I am going to put my opportunity on the line tonight, but it's not because I think you deserve it. It's not because I don't believe in myself against James Diaz. It's because I want one more opportunity to prove guys like you wrong. So you know what, Fro? Tonight, please listen. Be open to change when we face each other in the ring tonight. Because I'm going to show you a better way. And the two men shake hands with Fro with a big shit-eating grin on his face. And that is our main event of the evening, match-wise. For sure, Gary Walker, the winner, goes on to Where It All Begins Again. That contract signing might not be Gary Walker. It might be for sure. It happened last year. Someone usurped the battle for the Mid-Atlantic winner. So it's going to be a huge match in our main event of the evening. Before that, we have many more matches for you this evening. We're going to kick things off with a tag team match. Mike Graves teaming up with the best crossover athlete in professional wrestling history. One of the clientele of MC Motormouth, Jack Wood, to take on Sweet Jesus, which is the tag team of Holy Holly Goldsworth and the Saint, Ruby Velasquez. Big match here. Of course, Mike Graves got very angry, very aggressive with Ruby Velasquez after their match last month. And indeed, we have a very brutal affair between Mike Graves and Jack Wood, both very vicious individuals. Jack Wood with those nasty suplexes, mixed in with the very precise, very precision strikes. Mike Graves is an old school brawler. Very Memphis style, just out of control brawls. Every time Mike Graves gets into the ring, you don't know what's going to happen because he is just one of the most out of control brawlers in the history of professional wrestling. And that happens tonight. Mike Graves taking every opportunity to make Sweet Jesus hurt. Holy Holly Goldsworth and the Saint Ruby Velasquez both getting punished, victimized almost by the wild brawling style of Mike Graves, while Jack Wood just got down to some old-fashioned grappling. Really, really crisp stuff from Jack Wood, picking up the victory with the Zero Choker. Sweet Jesus end up losing this matchup. We have a match between Papa Dan and Marv Statler, where Papa Dan tries to show that heart, tries to show that courage, fighting against one of the men that took his place in Team Progress, started to drive a wedge between him and his friends and his allies over the last few years. Marv Statler, one of the last remaining horsemen of the Team Progress brand, and indeed really putting the boot into Papa Dan. In fact, taking the boot and putting it in after the match too, which of course prompts Logan Wolfsbane to come down and joining on the beatdown of the former Papa of Team Progress. And out comes Robin DeLay to clear house. Clearly tensions are rising between Papa Dan, Robin DeLay, and the remaining members of Team Progress. This will come to a head as these two take on these two at where it all begins again. And move on to the Tag Team Championship matches. Audi Gun and the Southern Stars have a good old-fashioned tag team match. Really fun stuff from these guys. A very similar match to their contest from the Sam Keith Classic, as it's all about shine, it's all about fast-paced action. Clinton Adams with his fast-paced grappling. Darren Gugel on the sidelines for a lot of this match. He's actually got an injury in shoot, so he's just not going to be taking too much of a part in this match. But it is the usual stuff between these guys. That's not true at all. There. So yeah, during the match, towards the end, Akira Arato comes down and kind of says, "I'm not finished with you, Animal Harker." And there's clear that these two still have animosity, and we have the big lads wrestling as Animal Harker and Akira Arato head to the outside and start brawling with each other, leaving Tennessee William on his own to be taken out by Dragon Rising. And Audi Gun make defense number 2 of their tag team titles, going into a match with Akira Arato and his partner, Amane Omai, in the at where it all begins again. Of course, the two competing tag teams at where it all begins again are staring each other out as this match ends. We have a good shine match between Sam Robinson and American Elemental. Sam Robinson, one of the hottest rising technicians in the business today, graduate of the Mid-Atlantic Dojo. Very slick Sam Robinson with his very smooth technical wrestling, going hold for hold. But American Elemental, of course, one of the hottest technical grapplers in the business worldwide. American sensation, American too, but Japanese sensation comes back here with his fast-paced, innovative grappling and innovative offense of American Elemental, going toe-to-toe with Sam Robinson, really taking it to the youngster and showing him the sensational, colorful attitude of American Elemental. We also... Jesus Christ. We also have that was the previous tag team. Jesus Christ was there earlier, Putty. And this is not Jesus Christ. This is Earl Martin. Earl Martin and Sid Collier have a fun match where they go back and forth. Earl Martin, of course, the fast-talking, fast-working, LA lifestyle-living SWF alum, jack of all trades, been working his way through the territories. But tonight he hits a roadblock in the dastardly Sid Collier, former 3-time Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Champion, 1-time Chicago Tag Team Champion, 1-time World Tag Team Champion, maybe just 1-time Sam Keith Classic winner. I don't actually know if he ever won it. But of course, for Remember the Dynamite Express tonight, with it going back to his usual methods of cheating, getting a low blow in as the ref isn't watching, and locking up Earl Martin in that Texas clother, like picking up the victory as we move on. Ladies and gentlemen, to our main event of the evening. Froshore takes on Gary Walker, with the winner moving on to where it all begins again in the main event. And in a good match indeed, Froshore and Gary Walker go at it. Froshore with that new vicious savage style. Really Fred Yehi-esque with that nasty technical wrestling. Fred Yehi, William Regal, Pete Dunne style. Just really the little details, just using... Froshore has developed so much into a technical wrestler over the last 4 years. He was originally just a brawler, a lot like Gary Walker, but... As we saw him grow as a babyface, he mixed in a few technical elements, as you all want to do here in Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. But tonight, it's all technical wrestling. It's all really nasty stomps to the hand of Gary Walker, working those fingers, just trying to inflict as much pain as possible. But Gary Walker has too much heart to be kept down by raw pain. Gary Walker fires up, fires back, punches his way back into a match, as he is wont to do. Firing back at Froshore, throwing those fists at that jaw, and really lifting himself. And, Froshore said he had no chance against James Diaz. Froshore said he has no chance against him. But Gary Walker has proven himself able to overcome any obstacles that are put in front of him. And tonight that is for sure. And tonight Gary Walker gets the victory with his hype bionic clothesline. Big win for Gary Walker as he wins the matchup and is going to be main eventing a show at the Ace Speedway. After the match, the contract is rolled out. Bossman Brayfield is there to oversee. Gary Walker gets on the mic and says, James Diaz, I respect... One second. Sorry about that. James Diaz, I respect you. You are one of the most domineering champions in Mid-Atlantic wrestling history. We haven't seen you for the last few months because you proved at the start of the year that you could beat anyone on the roster. I believe that. I agree with you. But I gotta tell you, every single bookmaker, every single bookie that has tried to offer bets on me has had to change their odds hour by hour because I defy all logic and all odds, and every single time someone underestimates me, I beat them. I am better than I ever thought I could be, and it's because I believe in myself. And you know what? Where it all begins again, I will be damned if I don't believe in myself. And yes, it is an honor to be there. And yes, it is a pleasure to even be in the main event. But I'm not just there to participate. I'm there to win, James Diaz. And I gotta tell you, if you underestimate me, you could be on the receiving end of one of the biggest upsets in professional wrestling history. So James Diaz, Big Money Monster, whatever you want to call yourself, I will see you there. And he signs the contract with a big shitting grin on his face. Gary Walker's so hyped right now. And James Diaz walks towards the table, eyeing up Gary Walker with a little bit of a condescension. He picks up the microphone and says, Gary, I'm not going to underestimate you. I'm going to beat you. And he drops the mic, signs the contract, and walks off with his title in tow. No nonsense from James Diaz. Ladies and gentlemen, the main event is signed for the Ace Speedway, where it all begins again, 2024. The 19th anniversary of Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. Gary Walker, Super Gary Walker, the entertainer, the underdog, the ultimate underdog, is going one-on-one with a Big Money Monster, the most dominant Mid-Atlantic Wrestling champion in history. The fastest rising young star in all of professional wrestling. The return of the monster, the Big Money Monster, James Diaz. It's the biggest main event in Mid-Atlantic Wrestling history. Make sure you make it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Ladies and gentlemen, if you did, please leave a thumbs up. Check out the rest of the series. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you're feeling especially generous and particularly like the episode, there's a link to my Patreon in the description. And if you want to hear me ramble on Twitter, there's a link to that in the description too. Ladies and gentlemen, where it all begins again. 2024 is next episode. Make sure you make it. It's going to be the biggest show of the year. I am excited. I'll see you guys then.